Hello everyone, it's Tanya with Scribbles in Time. I'm so excited. I am finally getting around to this little project that I have had on my mind for quite a while. I have created some kits, and just to kind of give you a little bit of a backstory, and then I'm going to shut up and just go over these kits, but just to give you a little bit of a backstory, I have always enjoyed collecting kind of what I call odd things. I love unusual items. If you were to come into my house, I've had friends come over and say, this house is like a museum. There's the weirdest stuff in here that I've never seen before. And I love that. I love, you know, when you walk through a house to have things that just evoke conversation and are unusual and make you want to stop and look and have a story to tell. Almost everything in my house, I can tell you where I bought it, when I bought it, who I bought it from. I just love giving life to old stuff and unusual stuff. So once I discovered junk journaling, it just created a whole new avenue and a whole new excuse for me to purchase unusual items. And so I do like using what I call, and y'all may not, but I call it unusual items in my journals. I like using things in different ways. I just like to create a story when I create a journal. So over the past couple of years, I've accumulated quite the items. And over this past 2-year journey, I've had 6 people reach out to me asking if they could purchase items that I was using. And some of the items I had enough of, I could do that. Some of them, you know, it's hard to come by and you just don't have enough, and you only have the 1 or 2 that you've already used in a journal. But anyway, so it's always created this thought process in my mind that when I come across cool stuff, I should be providing it so that other people can use it. And also, just to go ahead and address this thing as well, I've had a couple of people ask me if I would ever do like a teachable course on my style of journals, and I'm kind of, you know, bouncing the idea around in my mind. I guess where I struggle is I'm not a teacher, and I love what I do, and I love creating journals, but I'm not real good at teaching. I just like doing what I do. But with that being said, it's definitely something I've been thinking of. And in my mind, I kept thinking that if I ever did teach a course, I thought I would offer some type of kit so that if anyone wanted to take the course, they would have, you know, the items that I had as I was creating the journal. Because I've done courses myself. I've taken courses myself where I've always thought, man, it would be nice if I had the stuff that she has so that I could try to create what that person's creating. So anyway, my thought process was kind of along those lines, but I'm not there yet. I've got a long way to go. I've got to learn a lot if I ever want to try to share what I know. First of all, I'm just not smart with computers and how to do the merging of videos and all of the processes that's involved in doing a teachable. But anyway, backing up, kits. I'm so excited. So I have finally started accumulating items to where I can put together some kits of some of the items I have. And I'm just really excited about these. I feel like these are just really some fun things that are fun to use in unusual journals. It's just the type, this is just right up my alley. This is the type of stuff I like to use in my books. So I'm going to go through. At first I was going to do just one big kit, and I felt like that might not be affordable, so I wanted to break it up and kind of do just small kits. So what I've done is I've offered the free shipping with the $35 purchase, and I've done up just some small kits. And I would love if you have a minute to take the time to watch the video and just see what you think. If you enjoy it, please give me a thumbs up. If you have questions, ask me. And also, for those of you that are on my Etsy and have come over to watch a video of what these kits are about, I wanted to kind of give you a generalized idea of what exactly is in the kits. It's very hard to summarize it into a little paragraph on an Etsy listing. So the very first kit I'm going to show is, I think every one of them is my favorite, but this is one of my favorites. And so just to kind of start here at the beginning, so page tabs. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that I like using page tabs. I like to free up the pages for actual either journaling or artwork. And then I like the edges of the pages to do the personality of the book. So I like using kind of unique things as page tabs. even when I buy journals, and I do buy a lot of journals, if any of you, I know a lot of you, I've bought your journals. I try to always, in the past, I've always rolled the money I've made from my journals over into helping other Etsy shops or other journal makers by purchasing journals from other people. I try to support our group. Yay. But anyway, and even when I buy journals from other creators, I try to add some of the things that I like, because I don't journal a lot. So I like adding things to the journals. And so anyway, so a lot of this kit has items like that. For example, here are some fabric tags, or I call them tags. This is what I would use them for. They could be attached to cardstock or whatnot and used as tuck spaces, but these are fabric. They say Soul Custom. I have not researched this company. I just love that it says Soul Custom, because I am a Christian and I love just the custom soul. I feel like we all have our own unique souls, and I just love this Soul Custom. And it says Soul Custom found and processed on these tags. The lighting's going to be bad. It's nighttime, so I'm trying to just get this video filmed because the stuff is already posted in my Etsy. And so I want people to be able to come over and see what these are. So with these fabric tags, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's see, and then 2 of the dark blue. And y'all, I love the reverse almost as much as the front. Isn't that just a cool color? Even if it's attached to a page here, I brought a journal in here to kind of demonstrate. But even if it's kind of attached to a page to where just the yellow is showing on the other side, so that when you flip it, just that's showing. That is just such a, I love that mustardy yellow color. So yeah, that's how I personally would use these as edges on pages. But they could be used again as tuck spots. It could be attached to cardstock to make it more sturdy, and attached like this as a tuck spot. They're just really cool tags. Love them. They're fabric. Love those. Yeah, you get these. And then cards, playing cards. So there's 3. There's a flower. What do you call those things? Oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Those little brown things. Cattails? Something like that. There's butterflies, there's flowers, and then there's a Norman Rockwell card. And I said in the listing that the playing side is just random. I'm randomly picking the cards for these kits. I'm not really paying attention to what's on this side. To me, this is the side where either it goes against the page or you attach some kind of writing surfaces or collage to that side. So that's in there. These cards are called, my understanding, I bought these at an estate sale. I have a box of them, and there's many different ones. This will be a random selection of 3, but you'll see that there's just, I have, a lot of them are the men, and they almost look the same, but they're different. So like, there's a different group of men, and then some of them are the ladies. There's even some ship ones in here somewhere. I'll have to find one and kind of show you. But they're just random. I bought these at an estate sale, and the man I bought them from, he said that this is a reproduction of a game. He said these cards were made in the 70s, which, by the way, the back of these cards, oh, I love the back almost as much as I love the fronts. And the fronts, you can see that some of them are discolored. They almost have, they are thick, like a thick cardstock. And some of them are very discolored. These are definitely old. But he said these are made in the 70s, and that they were a reproduction of a game called Pinafore, I think was the name of the game, that was in the late 1800s. And these were like a reproduction of the Pinafore game. There's the ship. Isn't that pretty? So yeah, I have a bunch of these, and so yeah, there's going to be 3 of these in this kit, and they will be randomly chosen. And I'm so sorry, guys, but the way I'm doing these kits, I'm already trying to get them ready so that they're ready to go. So I'm not able to like personalize a kit to an individual. They're going to come with what they come with, but I do keep everything within the same, I guess the same style. So I think that's exciting. I'm so excited about all this. So these are my cigar and whiskey labels. Love these. So cigar labels, y'all have seen me use these, or if you've watched any of my videos, I should say, y'all have seen me use these as tabs on the sides of pages. Usually I like to use these towards the back of the journal because I like them to kind of peek out at the very end. So usually I use them back here so that they're peeking out at the end. And usually when I put them on the edge of a page, I back it with a piece of regular paper across the back so that it's sturdy and doesn't, you know, bend too much. But I'm okay with it bending a little bit. But that's the way I use these. They, again, can be used, I mean, truly, they could be folded and used as a small page in a journal or as a pocket or text spot. I knew there were 2 more of these fabric tags. They had gotten stuck. So yeah, there was 2 more. Let me lay these over to the side. Sorry about that. There we go. Now, so you get this big cigar label. All of this is outlined in the Etsy listing. I'm just trying to do a visual for anyone that comes over from Etsy so they can see what they get. So there's the long cigar label. Measurements are in the Etsy listing. I was very detailed in my Etsy listings. This is one of the whiskey. These are very random. I have a whole stack of these labels off of their whiskey labels. I have a whole stack of them. There'll be 2 of these and then 2 of the cigar box labels. The cigar box labels are not random. I have these and I have these. So you would get 1 and 1. And then these 2 are random. Coasters. Oh, love coasters. Coasters are thick. They are perfect as pockets, perfect as tuck spots. They're perfect to slide into a pocket or a tuck spot. They are just awesome. If you do not like one side of the coaster, you can attach the journaling paper and they make a perfect journaling card. I also like them to use as little press boards. I use these all the time. Now, I don't journal a lot, but I do sketch and do artwork in my journals. They make perfect press boards because coasters are very thick. So in this kit, you get this coaster and this coaster. And these are not randomly picked. They are all the same. Measurements are in the listing. These are key tags. Now, you get, these come in a sheet of 10. You can buy these off of Etsy. I mean, off of Amazon. They come in a sheet of 10. But for anyone who does not want to have to buy the quantity that they would get, you would get 10 of these, which is perfect to use in 10 different journals. It would take you a long time to use that many anyway. And you still get all this other variety with it. Now, I am leaving these in the sheets when you get them. Don't have one of the sheets in front of me, but these basically all come connected in a sheet like this. And there's 10 of them on a sheet. So you get 10 of these. And the reason I'm doing that is because I coffee dye mine. Let me show you what they look like when they're coffee dyed. So this is what they look like. Now I bake them. I don't know how well these do air drying. I've never air dried them. You can see that one side doesn't accept the coffee as well as the other side. I'm assuming that has something to do with the coating on them. I don't know. But that's how they turn out for me when I coffee dye them. So this is, and you get 10 of these. And with them being in a sheet, they're real easy to coffee dye. You just, you know, dip the whole sheet in and then bake it. And then you break them apart afterwards. But the purpose of these is you actually fold them up. And then you can use them either on a page to hang stuff off of the edge of the page. Because once you push this through there, it locks it in. These are actually like a key tag. So once you push it through there, it locks it in and it makes the perfect little, I guess, hook or place to add a charm or something hanging off of the edge of the page. Love these. Okay, and then, let me set these to the side. There is one of these vintage train stickers in this kit. I love that. You know I love trains. Tags. There's 2 of these. They have the wire things on them. I don't use the wire on these. I do use the wire in other ways. I use them to attach charms and do other things with. So I'm sending the wire to you. I actually use like muslin and stained muslin, coffee stained muslin and stuff on these, but these are reinforced holes. I also coffee dye mine, so I'll show you what they look like when they're coffee dyed. This is what mine come out looking like. So you get one each of the kind of manila color and the white with the little reinforcers on them. And then you will get 3 random denim pockets. Now, I don't know if you've seen videos where other people have used these as journal covers, like on the backs of a journal, and they tuck their scissors. I know Ira does these in her flower press books. She's meditative scrapbooking, and she'll do denim pockets with scissors or pencils and pens and whatever tucked into them, like on the back of a journal cover. I have not done that yet on the outer part of a journal cover. Now, I have done that on the inner part of a journal cover, like on the inside of the back cover, like this, as a pocket back here. Now, I would trim this up better if that's what I was using it for. And then also, they're really cool to fold and use as a page in a journal, like that. But I just love denim pockets. To me, there's so much personality. You can even sew like a piece of fabric or whatever on this side and have it as an actual page in the journal. So that's where my mind goes. But I do want to say these are randomly picked. I have a whole stack of these. Let me kind of show you some of the ones I have. So these will be random. And see, when I get one like this, I cut the tag off. I know y'all have seen me use fabric tags on the side of my pages before. I cut tags off of everything. Fabric tags, they've got to go because I've got to use them in my journals. So any pocket that you get with a tag, that's what I would recommend doing with it. Or you can leave it on the pocket, whatever. But I have all kind of pockets, so this would be very random. I wouldn't sit and hand select. They are all equally cool and unique in their own way. But yeah, these are the denim pockets. And with this kit, you get 3. Awesome. I love those. And then you get one of these, and it's just random. There's, I believe, 6 by 6, but again, the measurements are in the Etsy listing. You'll get 1 flash card. Okay, these right here, I love. So these are some really thin muslin bags. I bought these at an estate sale, and the gentleman I bought them from, he had more, but he would not sell them because he was donating them to a veterans museum. And he showed them to me. They were really cool. They were stamped. They were medical pouches. I want to believe they were World War I. That's what I even wrote down on my little note to myself, is World War I. But they may have been World War II. So anyway, but they were little pouch bags. And on the little stamp of the one he had, it had like a medical stamp on it. And it said medical pouch. But these are very crudely made pouches. I believe they measure like 7 by 7. But what I love about these is hand stitching, which show up so beautifully. And y'all know I struggle with hand stitching, so I'm not brave enough to do that. I use them in their raw form. I think they're beautiful that way. But any of you who hand stitch, look how beautiful this is. And for me, it's just a beautiful little insert in a journal. On this side, you attach something different to it, be it a pocket or a card or whatever. And then that's that part of the page. I'm shedding, my hair falling out. But then the other side is the other part of the page. Love that. Okay, this is obviously just a bag. But y'all, I searched for these bags and I finally broke down and ordered some. I like using these kind of bags. Trader Joe's in our area has bags with paper handles like this, where they're like the paper, not the cord. The cord is cool too, but I like the paper, and because it's flatter, see. And Trader Joe's in our area has them, but since COVID, it's hard to get my hands on those. So I broke down and ordered some. So I went ahead and put one of these in this kit. Obviously, this is something else you can order yourself, but they come in such a huge quantity. I just figured I would throw one into the kit. Now, I've coffee stained mine, so I put my latest batch back here. So yeah, this is what they look like coffee stained. I coffee stain them just a whole bunch at a time. But this is what they look like, coffee stained. And when I do one, I stitch it. I did it in my last journal, that Eclectic Dreaming. I'm trying to remember if it was in this journal. No, I don't think so. Nope. Okay, yeah, there's not one in this journal. I love the way these handles look when they're sticking out of a journal, though. Let me see if I can kind of show you. So, yeah, the way I do it is I typically fold this part back down to create a tuck spot right there. And then I run a stitch and a stitch. Usually I'll even stitch down this edge. And then I fold it so that it goes into a journal. And I like the handles to stick out almost like a accent to the outer part of the journal. Like that. Now in this scenario, I would actually tuck the handles in just a little bit and then stitch them down so that they didn't poke out this far. But I love the way they look poking out of a journal. Very cool. So anyway, I did put one of those bags into each kit. And that completes that kit. So I hope that you're as excited as I am about that. I think this is just so cool. And then there are a few others. Let me kind of quickly go through those. Again, I want people who may be interested in one to have a way to actually see what's included in it. Get all this out of the way. All right, so next we're going to go through this one. Okay, y'all, this is my weakness. I love crocheted items. And so with this, obviously there's a coin envelope, which is one of the tall ones. I like the small ones for tucking in pockets and things, but y'all know me, I like to keep things original, so I tend to go with the tall ones myself. These denim patches are amazing to use as page tabs, but I like to accent them with something. So they are going to be random. Some of them are dark, some are light, some are just kind of medium. But the way I like to use these is to fold it over onto a page, like a page tab, and then you can attach anything to it, and it is just cool. Some of the other kits have some like dry cleaning labels, so I'll show you some of those in a moment. But even if you were to look at it with these, so like if we were to put this even here behind the flag, if this would have been attached as part of that page tab, it just makes the flag pop. But you attach it to a page, and then you can attach anything you want to it, and it really stands out against that denim. So look at it with the bow. Even the bows are pretty as a standalone, but against that blue, it's just beautiful. Like that. You can attach the flowers. Like that. Oh, here's the one. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? So yeah, I love these little denim, I guess I call them patches. They're not really patches because they don't have the iron on or any, I guess they could be considered sew-on patches, but they're little patches. I believe they're 2 by 2 if memory serves correct, but that's what those look like. You then also get sets of these bows. These bows have little red polka dots, and they're just little ribbon bows. I'm sorry my lighting's so bad. I'm trying to get this video done so I can get it posted and share this stuff. So there's that. You get the bows and the denim patches, and then this. Oh. So this is a red, white, and blue butterfly. Y'all, this is embroidered on felt. It is iron on. It's a patch, but for me, wouldn't use it as a patch. I would use this as a page tab. No doubt in my mind, this will be a page tab. I just got these in, and I will be using these as page tabs. You'll probably see a lot of these. I'm just about out of my little Master Buck tabs right there that I've used, which is why I was on the search for these other tabs. But you can see how cool these little fabric tabs look sticking out of a book on a page. Like that. So these are the little, they're like embroidered, try saying that, embroidered onto felt, and they are so pretty. Okay, so you get one of the butterflies. Measurements are on Etsy. And then these are crochet. Okay, let me go ahead and show you these flowers, because these 2 flowers right here are not crocheted. They come off looking embroidered when you attach it to anything. Let me hold it against the denim so that you can see. And then here is, in all of the kits, this is all the same other than the denim. The denim might be, you know, they're just random. Some are light, some are dark. They are what they are. All of them are cool. And then these pieces, the bees are the same in every kit. And then these flowers right here are the same. But the rest of this, some of the colors are different. Let me show you the bees real quick. These are mohair crochet. Can you see them? So they're mohair. I call that argyle. When I was a child, I can remember having argyle sweaters that had this fuzzy look about them. But these are so amazing. They're little crocheted bees. They're hand crocheted. They would have to be stitched onto a page. But visualize this in the center of a cluster, especially of a bee journal. Y'all, these are so cute. Very cute. Okay, and then these crocheted flowers here are the same in every kit. The bees are the same. These flowers are the same. There's a yellow and a kind of a red. Again, these are really cute. Where you can see the color better. And then these pieces come in different colors. I did bring a couple of more of the kits in so that I could kind of give you an example of some of the colors. I say that because all of the color schemes are pretty much the same. So this was what I was calling the triple vertical square. And you can see that there's these little flowers stitched on there. Can you see? I say you can see. Oh, my lighting's so bad. Let me try to turn my light. That might be better. So you can see that there's little flowers stitched onto that. And then this is actually 3 vertical flowers stacked on top of each other. And then this is a square crocheted, a very tight crocheted square with a daisy on it. Let me see if I can show you some. I think this one had an example of other colors in it. Yeah. So, where'd the flowers go in this one? There it is. So yeah, you can see the difference in the color of these triple flowers. Same style, just different colors. And then the squares were the same color on this particular kit. I think that the square, yeah, this little crocheted square is gray with a black. And again, it's all the same style, just different colors. And there's no way I can personalize these because I am going to have these ready to go, hopefully, so I can get them out quickly if anyone wants one. And when these are gone, they're gone. So I would highly encourage you, if you're, especially the crocheted stuff, because y'all, that is just so unique. But yeah, these kits, I've struggled with letting go of things. Y'all know I struggle with that, but I'm trying to do better. And truthfully, I have just really met a lot of you, gotten to know you, and consider you my dear friends. I want to share the items as well. So here's some of the cool stuff. If you're interested, just let me know. If you have questions, let me know also. There's still a couple more things I want to show you, and then we'll be done. That is what I think I'm calling this one, the crocheted kit. I know crochet is in the title. I can't remember the exact title of how I listed this one. This is like an applique pouch. So in this one, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the large butterflies. All of these kits are the same. There's no variation in colors. So you get 5 of this large butterfly. Again, page tabs. That's what I see when I see these. They also are beautiful inside of clusters. Attached to a page, they come off looking embroidered. Now, I personally coffee dye these. I don't dip them in coffee dye. They could be, I would think, but I tend to splash them just to grunge them up. And I've also gotten my little inkers and, you know, went around and inked the edges of them to tone that white down. But obviously these come this way for you to do with what you want. And then the small butterflies, these are the colors of the small ones. So as you see, you get 6 of those. Again, if you attach these on the edge of a page back to back, they make beautiful page tabs. And as you flip the page, it's just a different view. As you flip the page, absolutely gorgeous. Love them. And then I'm going to show you the leaves real quick. So Now you could attach this to the edge of a page with this one attached to the back side like that, so that when you flip the page, it's a whole different look. You could do that with the same thing with the large ones. And then there's leaves. These are actually iron-on appliques. I personally would use them either in the center of a cluster or as a page tab. And then the little rosettes. These rosettes are so cute. You get sets of the rosettes, and they're like little ribbon roses. There's the green ribbon with the navy blue, and you get sets of these. That is what, I believe I named this one the Applique Set. So that's what this one consists of, and it does come in a little coin envelope. It's kind of one of the longer ones. Again, all measurements are in my Etsy listing. This one is the one from earlier. I'm guessing I put this here because it probably had a different color. Nope, we had these colors in the other one. So these were the same colors. I love that crochet. Y'all, when you think about the time, I know that people who crochet are very fast at it. I used to crochet years ago. But for me now, to crochet would be so time consuming. Not to mention I'd have to buy a whole bunch of stuff because I don't have this stuff. Okay, let's talk about my little, okay, so these are little cotton bags with the drawstrings. And oh my gosh, did I pull one out? I know I coffee dyed one. I have a whole bunch of them coffee dyed, but I know I pulled a coffee dyed one out so that I, oh, here it is. So yeah, these are the ones I coffee dye all the time and use in my journals. So if you've watched any of my videos, you've seen me, I use these little bags all the time. This is what they look like coffee dyed. Okay, I coffee dye mine in real dark coffee, and then I bake them. And usually I bake them after I've done paper. And what I do then is I crinkle it up and I kind of run it across my pan where some of the darker coffee has kind of, you know, baked onto the pan. And that picks up these little dark lines. So this is what these look like coffee dyed. I use these in the journals all the time. I love these. And I like using things in these that are like keepsake items. One of which is going to be in my glass bead bag. I'll show you in a moment. But typically what I do is I punch a hole in the paper. I put little metal washers there to reinforce the hole. And then I push this through the hole, tie it on the back side. And I have that hanging on a page like that. And then I put something cool in it. One of my butterflies came out. So that's what this looks like coffee dyed. I've got to go back and add that. I don't want to forget. Let me lay that to the side. Okay. These buckles. Let me talk about the buckles for a minute. So these buckles are very lightweight. I love using metal, you know that. But when you use the lighter weight plastic, you're able to do it without weighting down a page. So I love doing that. You can put glitter glue on these plastic pieces and put paper down on them and attach like an old book page to this. You know, sand off the edges so that the page is only attached to the plastic portion, and then ink it up and stain it up. My friend Pam showed me that. She had watched it on a video, and she does it with soda can tabs. And so I bought some of these and used it on these, and they're awesome. You can use this on the outside of a journal like a buckle or on a page. They make cool tabs. You can attach, you know, the O-rings, bigger O-rings to those and hang charms from them. They're just cool accent pieces. Now this one here, I'm not going to lie to you. I love, this is pretty. It has these little crystal looks here. But I actually stick an ice pick. Here's what I'm not going to do it to this one because this one's in someone's kit. But you can actually poke this out. Well, let's see, this one's going to come out pretty easy, I think. Some of them you have to push kind of hard. So you can poke these out, and then you can use this separate, almost like a little frame on a page, and then use this as the buckle. I love that. It creates two separate pieces, and to me that's pretty. I love that, using it as a frame. You can put a little photograph back there, or you can even put fabric or whatever you want back there. I've used it before with a book page that had a picture. I'll use this as an example. This isn't very pretty, but like that. And then you frame whatever part of the picture you want to frame out with that. Anyway, so that's another option of how you can use these. You get 2 of them. And you can actually push that out and have 4 pieces there. Or keep it like it is and have the 2 matching buckles. So that's that. These are numbered tabs. These will be randomly picked. You won't get these the exact same 2 numbers, except whoever ends up with this kit. But these are randomly picked, and they are like acrylic. They're hard. I like using these as charms in a journal or a page tab. I personally like using them as charms. If you use it as a page tab, it's cool to have it sticking off the edge of the page and then attach a charm through that hole. Which brings me to these. You're going to get 2 little key rings, which make wonderful larger O-rings, which I was talking earlier about attaching these or using these on the edge of a page, and then attaching a larger jump ring to the edge of it to hang charms on. Or fabric, you can do the muslin, the little pull-through tab. Very cool. These pulls are awesome. I use these as charms. Some of them still have the little zipper piece on them. I pop those off and use these as charms. They're just really cool little embellishments for a journal. Kind of heavy, but I like them. Y'all know I love the metal. You get 2 bells that look vintage, a little brass and a kind of a coppery look and a brassy look. Vintage style bells. They're substantial. These are what I like hanging out of the center of a signature. Y'all have seen me do that in journals too if you've watched any of my videos. Okay, these are the little brass numbered locker plates. I think they call them locker plates. But they're all numbered, different numbers. These will be randomly selected. These are vintage. And I use these on the front of my journals all the time. All the time. I've had so many people ask about them. So you can see I used it on the front of this journal. Man, my lighting is bad. I am so sorry. I just looked through my camera. Okay, sorry about that. Nothing I can do about it. So these are the brass numbered locker tabs. You'll get 2 of these in this kit. This is a little bow. It's kind of like a hat pin. It's a little pin like that. Uh-oh. Little pin like that. Can't hold anything. Okay, like that. I snip the pin off with my little wire cutter. I snip that off and use this in clusters or, you know, however you want to use it in a journal, but I think these are so cute. Let me hold it up where you can see it better if the light's not glaring. My light's bad, so now what I do have is glaring. The cherry pen is like a red enamel with a green leaf. And I bought the cherry pens with the intentions of using them in a cookbook or recipe journal. I love these. I love these. To me, these they're just the epitome of nature. Love them. Again, this can be used as a charm on a cluster or as a tab. 3 of the little bingo chips, and I try to do, they're random. I just grabbed 3, but I'm trying my best to make sure I grab kind of the clear one, the green. These, I got this idea through Emily. Y'all saw that in the last video. She had sent me some, and I love them. They're perfect as page tabs. So all of that comes in this little bag, which the bag itself I love. But anyway, so that's that. I can get it all back in. We're getting close, y'all. Getting close. I wanted to say I saved the best for last, but I love it all. That's another one where I was just kind of showing the variations of the different things you would get, like the different numbers, the different pulls, the metal in there. But overall, the kits are pretty much the same style, same theme, just a little bit of variation. Okay. These are the glass beads. See if I can do this without them rolling everywhere. So let's talk about the glass beads real quick. So these glass beads are really beautiful. I've got to get my notes because they're not easy for me to say a lot of the words. But these, the red ones, are actually Czechoslovakian glass beads. They are 15 millimeters, I believe. It's all in the Etsy listing. And they have the hole that goes all the way through. So these can be used in the center of a signature, hanging out at the bottom of a book. Love them that way. They can be attached to a pen and used as a charm or whatever on the side of a page. So you get 3 of these red Czech glass beads. You're going to get 10 random buttons. They're not going to be the same. They'll be just whatever color. These are vintage. I had gotten all the buttons from Amore Fabriques. Selena sent me a whole 10 of these. And so these are just random vintage buttons. There's 10 of those. And then these right here, they call these the, is it Swirl Jade, I believe? Let's see, I wrote it down. Swirl Jade. Again, I listed it. Yeah, Swirl Jade. They're 12 millimeters and they're made in Japan. And they're the Cherry brand. So they are glass. And they are beautiful. These here almost are clear. They have kind of a milky white appearance. A little bit milky. They're called alabaster. But to me, they're just almost a clear milky look. But they're Baroque round glass beads. 14 millimeter. These are Chardonnay, I can't even say the word, but they're blue. They're like a pale blue. They're the 1950s Japanese glass beads. They're also the Cherry brand, but they are from the 1950s. And again, all of these beads are beautiful hanging through the center of a signature. I don't really, this one doesn't even have a glass bead. It has like a chandelier bead and a fishing lure, but to hang from the center of a signature, that's the way I like to use my beads. Most of you already know what that's all about. These are little teardrop white glass beads. These have, they're called, I'm trying to remember, let me see, I wrote it down, but I don't even know if I wrote, they're drilled. So they have one hole that's drilled into the top. So I personally don't know how to run a string or anything through that because the hole doesn't come out through the bottom. So I put these in my bags as conversation pieces. Remember I was telling you earlier that I do these bags in my journals. So to me, these are the, I don't put 3, I just put 1. 1 in a bag with other items, usually a rock or a coin or something like that, buttons, whatever. I put in a bag and it's just an extra little conversation piece. I put 3 of those in this. They're old, 1950s. So again, this is a little bag that can be coffee dyed. And it's full of little glass beads and vintage buttons. That's another bag of the beads. But there's no variation in these. Same colors, same beads. Oh, let me show this before I move on to my metal tin. This is the vintage wooden spool. And on it, I have put a 2.25 inch, so like a 2 1/4 inch by 1.5 yards of this, I coffee stained this. And I know that y'all seen before on my journals, this is the way I like to use it. You can use it on the edge of pages or whatever, but I like to run my fabrics down the center of a page to reinforce my pages. So this is the very kind of fabric I use. So I run fabric down the center of my pages like that. So on this spool, you get 1.5 yards. Get that out of the way. And I have put these little silver pins on each of these. I figure if you're going to use a vintage wooden spool, you've got to just do it right. So I didn't tie a cord around it or anything. I went ahead and used one of my silver pins and put that on there with the fabric to hold that in place. And then each one comes with some green. Now this came from an antique store. I have no idea, you know, if it's all-purpose thread or anything about the thread other than it's probably vintage. It comes in 3 colors. I brought some more in here, and I also wanted to show that the flowers on this fabric are very random. Some of them are clustered closer together. Some of them are spaced farther apart. So I wanted to kind of represent the different patterns of these flowers so that you know that if you were to get one, it may have more of the plain material between it. It may have more of the flowers. I'm not sure. It's just a variation of, they're all the same pattern. It's just that they're spaced differently. And then this thread kind of came in a light, a medium, and a dark. And those will be randomly picked. I'm just going to grab whichever one with each kit. So there's light, medium, and dark. I have my husband flagging me down. It's time for supper. It's getting late. Okay, so this little kit here, this envelope, is a seed packet. It's stamped on the back. It says Let Love Grow, and it has flowers, a little vase of flowers. There are some of these denim patches. You'll get 3 of the patches, varying colors. They'll be random. You'll get 1 each of the coin sleeves, the coin wrappers. These I like to use on the edge of a page either as a pencil pouch. You slide a pencil or a paintbrush in there. Love doing that. You run a stitch down each side and that holds the pencil or paintbrush in place. You can use this on the edge of a page, or you can use it in a cluster or wherever just to add personality. So you'll get 1 each of those. Very cool. And then the vocabulary cards. There's like an algebra card in each one. I remember there's Latin, English, and I believe French. Sadly, I don't speak any other language, so I can't tell you for sure which one is which. I just know I have a whole box of each language, and I pulled 1 for each kit out of each box. So you get 4 of those. And then these are some of the fabric tabs I love to use. Now, I coffee dye mine. I didn't on these because sometimes they're just as pretty when they're in their original color, depending on what paper you're using. If you're using like a very coffee stained paper, you might want the more clean look. But I kept them doubled versus cutting them individually because to me, again, this is somewhere where if you fold this over and use it as an edge or a tab on a page, you can then wrap this around it as an accent piece on the edge of a page, or fold it more square if that's more to your taste. And me personally, I'd probably staple it to use it on the tab, as a tab on the side of a page. Love the way that looks. But you get 3 of these. Each one says something different. There's dry clean only. There's machine wash warm. And then there's dry clean pile fabric method only. So you get that. That all comes in this little seed packet. Again, I was just going to do 1 big listing, but I thought it would be, you know, for anyone that can't afford a big listing, I thought it would be more economical to do them in the little small groups. And again, free shipping with a $35 purchase within the United States. I do ship outside of the United States, but sadly I can't offer free shipping outside of the United States. There's that. Okay, let's talk about these now. This is probably my favorite. So let me explain what these are. These are metal tins. They're like 3 inches. Some of them have these little white labels on the top with like pencil writing. I'll show you this one. I tried to bring a kind of a representation of different ones. It all looks like pencil, so I guess it could be erased if you wanted to. This one doesn't have a label at all on the top. Some do, some don't. That will be random. And the things inside of this are very random. They're all the same items. So I have mentioned before that I love, for years and years, I have collected pocket watches. I'll show you my bowl. I've showed it before. Oh, it's heavy. So, my goodness, it's heavy. So, yes, I collect pocket watches. I have a wooden bowl. I keep them all in. They're all broken. They don't work. Most of them are missing their glass. Most are missing their hand. Some have the glass, some have the hands. I'm not going to sit and pick out. To me, they are all unique in their own way. They're all beautiful. But if you purchase a 10, I do pick out one of the vintage ones. For example, this is not vintage. This is beautiful and it has a vintage look, but it's not old. I would grab one of these out of my bowl. Some have broken glass. One of the ones I put here has the broken glass, so that I wanted to be sure to represent them. So yeah, this one, it has the broken glass. There's, like, this one has no glass. This one has no hands and no glass. But these are so amazing in their own way. Each one has its own personality. I love them. So in each 10, you would get a pocket watch. You get the 10, and then you get one of the bags in that 10. And inside of the bag is just some really cool items. I'm going to try to go over these so you'll quickly see why this is probably my favorite. So each 10 has one of these vintagey, I think they call them laundry pins. I've put one of those in each one of the bags. I've put 5 of the zipper pulls in each one of the bags. Random. I tried to pick out really good ones that have, you know, intact ends and everything. I have come across some that have like the Eiffel Tower. I always think about, there's a guy online that does junk journals, and I won't give all of his information. I don't know if he would want me to, but his last name is Leisure, and a lot of these tags, a lot of these pulls have Leisure on them. I guess that's a brand. And I always think of him. I always think, oh, he needs this. But a lot of them have that. 2 of the vintage brass locker tabs are going to be in each bag. A random key. These are vintage. Some of them have like a stamping number on it. One of those will be in each bag. And then these are stencils. These are random. Most of these are like 0.75 inches. Some of them are 1 inch. I mean, they're just they're various sizes. Some have like a paint on one side and are kind of this aged brass on the other. Obviously, there'll be different letters, numbers, punctuation marks. This will be randomly chosen. To me, it doesn't matter because they're all cool. I like them on the edge of a page, but I have to be careful because they have sharp corners. So they're also cool to use in the center of a cluster. However you want to use them, they're just cool. They have personality. And then these, I haven't used. I think I've used one time. But the other day I was in an antique store and I came across this box. I didn't even know it had anything in it. I like to use boxes. I like to fold them up. Sometimes I laminate them, sometimes I don't. It depends on how brittle they are. But I like to use these as like a page. I like to fold up the box and use it as an actual page in a journal. I hinge it with fabric. So I've grabbed it for the box, and lo and behold, it was still full of the nibs. So, sharing that little find. So that goes also in the bag. So each one of these metal tins has the bag with all those goodies in it and a pocket watch. Again, that's a random selection. This is just kind of an example. The bag still has the same type of items in it. I personally just love this tin just like it is. I would literally have this sitting out like that. I love it. That's just a cool conversation piece to me. And then look at that one. But yeah, every tin will have a different pocket watch in it and the bag of the fun metal stuff. Okay, that brings me to the last items, I think. Yeah, I think so. So this is the last items. So let's talk about these. I have 3 of these. One is smaller than the other 2. Let me try to lay them all out. Where's the other one? Here it is. So these, that's not it. That's mine. I don't know where the other, oh, here it is. Sorry. Okay, this pen here is smaller than these two. I actually like it. I think it's cooler when it doesn't have these metal tabs on there and you're just comparing the 3 pens. The smaller one just looks so cool. The big ones are still cool too, but I'm able to fit more of these on the big ones. I have listed these individually because I actually hand-picked out all of these zipper pulls. I mean, they are still random technically, but I did hand-pick them out. And I say that because I tried to find, for example, well, look at that one. I tried to find some that just really had, they all had personality, so I can't say that I tried to find some, but like that. Yeah, these are all the cool zipper pulls. The smaller one would only hold 20, and then it was full. I couldn't hardly get it to latch. So that's the smaller one. Just wanted to kind of pull them off so I could kind of show anyone who was looking at it what they have. I'm trying to decide if I should pull the other ones off. I guess if anyone's looking at the other ones, they should be able to see what the zipper pulls look like. They're all cool though. How do you, I mean, it's not like you can say, oh, that one's not as cool as that one. But I guess if you have a style that you're looking for in a particular journal, you want a variety of all different kinds. So that's what I was going for. Again, some of them still have the little zipper piece on them. Some do not. That's the smaller one. I think I listed that as pen 1 on my Etsy listing, so you can have an idea of what that looks like. Okay, I think this one is number 2. Let me look. Yeah, I think this one was number 2. Yeah, this one's number 2. I remembered that because number 2 had blue. See the blue tab right there? So this one's number 2. And y'all, I hesitate to take this one off because I was able to squeeze 30 of these pulls on these 2 bigger rings, but I could barely get them closed after I got the 30 on there. And I really did want to take them off because if anyone's interested, I wanted them to see what they're getting. So I'll try to kind of swivel them around. They're cool. There's this one. Okay, this was probably my favorite one on this one, and it's going to be hard to see, but it is just such a cool shape. As a page tab, it is just unique. But in the Etsy listing, I did spread all of these out and took pictures, so you can zoom in and see the pictures as you're looking through those. And then this one is listed as number 3 on Etsy. And try to kind of do a representation of these. Yes, I love this one. I don't know why. It just has this, I don't know, it's just cool. Cool. I was going to try to see. I thought one of these had the leisure on there. Anyway, very cool ones. So these are all on the pens. And I actually have one more pen that's kind of bent. So I was keeping that one for myself. But I bought these pens at the same antique store that I bought these at the other day. And absolutely the minute I saw them, I said, oh, gotta have these. I knew exactly. I wanted to use them kind of like a keychain look for my pulls. But anyway, these are all on my Etsy. All of the kits are on my Etsy. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, please reach out to me below or on my Etsy. And I hope you enjoyed this video. More importantly, I hope you enjoy the items and the stuff. I'm passionate about this stuff. I love it. And I just hope that sharing it would mean something. And so, hope you enjoy the video. Y'all have a blessed day.